What up, it's your boy Hank. I wanted to do this video on my way to work because I have had the worst week and a half of bowling since I started. I got out of wearing my wrist positioner, and this is my morning look. How do I look? Damn, I need to shave. And I am determined to learn a nice release without it. I'm more than strong enough. It's not a strength issue, it's a technique issue, and I know that, and I know what I have to do to fix it. It's just implementing it. So last night I says, I have the 3D offset, I have the hazmat. I brought both of those to league on Sunday, and I didn't bowl great. But I didn't bowl awful either. In terms of someone that's only been bowling for 3 months, I shot like a 140, let's say, a 150, and then like a 165 or something like that. So my games consistently got better. I started figuring out, again, I wasn't wearing my wrist positioner, but I did have a very small leather Master 2 brace on, which I was digging. I was just, again, getting used to my swing. I felt like at the end of the night, I was probably muscling it still a little bit. It wasn't very free. So fast forward to last night, I'm like, so I end up, rewind. So at league, when I threw those 2 balls, I couldn't get them to react really the way I've had ball reaction. Obviously going from shooting with a wrist positioner to not, the way the ball's coming off my hand has to be completely different. So I'm like, okay, so with my crown, I shoot it, even with the wrist positioner, I shoot it up 10, and I get a little action in. So I was trying to do that. My feet were off. I kept, again, getting stuck with my feet farther left than they probably should have been. At the end of the night, I ended up moving in more, and I got more ball reaction. I struck in the 10th, I got 9, and then I picked up my spare. My spare game, at least that's fine. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to make a surface adjustment on these balls. And you know what I did, which now looking back at it was probably completely the wrong way. I thought, I'm going to try to drop the grit on these balls and see if I get a little more action on them. So I sanded both of them to 1500 true grip. I went out last night and I practiced, and I started with my Criterion Inverse, which has factory finish on it, pearl, and I have been working on, at home, a 5-step approach, a little slide step with an output with my step, nice full backswing, because I have longer arms, I'm a stronger guy, I have no problem cupping my ball fully in the backswing, and I worked on that, and I started last night doing that with a very nice, release, and I had really good results. Once I started, I started with some practice throws and stuff, so I really didn't get a full approach until probably the 4th frame or so. And I started striking like crazy. I think I struck 5-6 times in a row. It had nice ball motion. It was up, probably around the 10 board. It was up, nice action into the pocket, very repeatable. I'm like, wow. I started wearing some tape on the bottom of my fingers, and that really helped with a lot of feedback, releasing the ball. I felt like I could actually feel like I was releasing the ball now. Same thing with my spare shot. My spare shot I developed, I come back, I have a nice cup in my backswing, and then when I throw it, I kind of roll my hand up the inside of the ball, and then have my finger, my index finger finish kind of in front of my face. And I can get pretty much all my balls to shoot dead straight. And that's how I've been shooting all my corner pins. And it's been awesome accuracy wise. If I miss, it's because my angle, my trajectory was off now. It's not because I missed through it or, So that's really cool. That's gotten extremely consistent. So I go, and so that's doing good. So I'm like, all right, well, let me try the 3D now. Hopefully now I get similar action, and no. So I go to throw it, and everything sails. Everything goes pin straight. I'm throwing it the same way as I threw the other ball. I'm Okay, so I move farther right, and like I still don't get much action out of it. And then, so now I'm like, this is where Henry starts to get a little mixed up, because I understand if I have a consistent ball action, I comprehend if I'm hitting a certain spot where to kind of adjust now. If I'm shooting up 10 and it hits long, I move my feet in right a little bit, I shoot the same shot, I usually get it. If I hit my mark and I'm crossing over the head pin, I would move my feet left, my eyes in maybe like a board or two, and then try that and see how we make out. So that I kind of thought I had a grasp on. But when I switch equipment and the equipment does nothing, I mean, these balls literally did nothing. The only way I got them to do anything was if I put my wrist positioner on and then I threw like a really slow and accentuated like snapping throw to get a lot of side rotation on it. Then I could get them to like cruise down, hit the break point, turn over, and drive the pins. And I mean, they were hitting hard. Without my wrist positioner on, I'm sure my revs are even lower. But I can throw. I roll the ball fast. I can roll the ball at the pins like 17.5 miles an hour, like no problem. Like I don't even feel like I'm trying. So it's really just a matter of my positioning on the ball, on my follow through. I think I'm too behind it. I'm not getting around it enough. So, and then I believe my sanding them down accentuated my problem more. So I already have, beard does not show up on this light. I already have a problem with it not getting around it and creating enough rotation. So what I'm being told by a lot of people is, being these are such strong balls, they're probably dying mid lane. And then, which makes sense because, I mean, they did seem to kind of get midway and then just kind of roll out. Now that I'm thinking back about it, I just, I get such in my head. I said to my son today, I was like, I'm like still down about it, and he's like, dude, you've been bowling for like 3 months. Like, what is your problem? And it's like when you make really good progress, I was shooting, my highest game was like 236. I had a game with like 6 strikes in a row. Like, it's like, and now I feel like I can't find the pocket. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's just, and now I'm all upside down. So I got league again tonight. So I started last night too with just a light wrist wrap on, like a neoprene wrist wrap, which I really liked because it kind of gave me like a little bit of input, but it wasn't like, holding my hand in like a position. Because the other problem that I have with the small wrist brace is that it feels like it leaves my hand in like this position, which my brain does not compute how to roll the ball off my fingers when it's in that position. Like, I don't know. It just feels unnatural. So it's like, yay, learn how to bowl again with me, because that's what I feel like I'm doing. I feel like I'm starting over completely and learning how to bowl. So I don't know. I hope this video resonates with the crowd like me that watches bowling videos that are trying to be good and are struggling, and don't go out and bowl 300 games every time they bowl and have like perfect yo-yo releases and everything else, which all YouTube's filled with. Those lower rev speed dominant guys, you don't see guys like that making YouTube videos. So nobody wants to see a ball go up and in, up and in. They want to see it shoot the fucking lane, and it's like, that's not realistic most of the time though. I know that's like the shot nowadays, but I don't know. We'll see. So tonight I'm gonna I think wear just a light wrist thing. It's not restrictive at all, but it does give me a little bit of feedback, and a little bit of like support when I'm moving around. And I did like the tape on my fingers. I might try just the tape on the bottom, because my inverse ball, it was a little tight. Like I really had to like cram my fingers in it, because I know you're supposed to kind of go up a size if you wear tape on your fingers, but I love the feel of it, so we'll see. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll post back. I recorded video from Sunday too, and I didn't post that yet. I've just been so beside myself. It's like I'm so upside down. But we'll figure it out. Keep pushing. Have a great day.